By a show of hands, how many of you in the room have been in some job in healthcare for at least 7 years? At least 7 years, and are miserable. Okay. And that is why they bring me in.
Meet David Glickman. He's been called America's funniest healthcare speaker, and you're about to see why. David presents a dose of healthcare humor to groups all over the country. It's serious enough to qualify for continuing education and funny enough to qualify for continuing celebration. Now, let's watch a few minutes of David in action.
I will tell you that I am thrilled to be here this morning. Let me get this right. For the Care Tracker, which isn't really Care Tracker anymore, conference. For Optum, which technically is not Optum, it's also Optum Insight, which was Ingenix, which formerly was Lighthouse, which begs the question, who are you people? I'm so confused.
I think probably the number one stressor for those in the hospital environment is this. How old is that picture on your name badge? Just how many years has it been? How old is that picture on your name badge? The one where you've got just one chin.
I think that when Joint Commission is on site, or when your auditors, your outside auditors are on site, they should be required to wear this as they go down the hall, you know. I spoke at a nursing conference just maybe 2-3 months ago. And it was so odd. It was the American Society of Peri-Anesthesia Nurses. This was 2,000 pre-op and post-op nurses. It was very strange. They would not allow me to have anything to eat or drink after midnight before my keynote at 8 a.m. I said, but I'm your speaker. They said, we have protocols. And then after I finished the speech, they would not allow me to leave until I could demonstrate that I could urinate. So it was... There's some books out there you aren't even aware of that can help you in your day-to-day jobs. Where's Waldo? No, seriously, where's Waldo? What exam room did we put him in?
For those of you who are brand new to your jobs, we have this one. How the Grinch Stole Your Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and other days you want it off.
The Hunger Games, strategizing lunches from the pharmaceutical reps. 50 Shades of Gross. The patient restroom at the end of the day.
Those of you who are in hospital-based settings, I'm sure, have had to deal with it from time to time. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, Joint Commission examiners are from Uranus.
Those are some books I think you'll find helpful. Aren't those fun? Now, of course, none of those books are real. But what is real are the laughs that we just shared. Now, almost every one of those books represented some kind of frustration you may face at work. But instead of cursing at it, possibly for the very first time you were laughing at it. See, this is the technique that comedians and humorists use. We find something that's just a problem or a frustration for people, and we ask this question: is there another way to look at this? To reframe it, reposition it, restate it, that might make it fun or funny? And most of the time, there is. Now, does it change the fact that the problem exists? No, it doesn't change that fact at all. What it changes is the approach. And the approach is everything. And once you're able to make that slight shift in perspective, you're able to achieve what I like to call work-laugh balance.
Now, you like that book on Joint Commission, but a lot of us still refer to them by their old name, Jaco. Jaco, come and I want to go home. Jaco, come and I want to go home. They're talking about quality control. Jaco, come and I want to go home. What's in the meds fridge? A casserole. Jacob, come and I want to go home. Jacob, come and I want to go home. So think of that the next time they're there.
So I took notes on our other general sessions. I'm going to give you a quick summary of what we learned at Mega Conference over the last few days. Then he told us that CVS is looking at Aetna as this partnership, and I think it would make more sense for Aetna to team up with McDonald's. There's a lot more locations. You cut out the middleman. You have a Big Mac and put the stent in. It just bam. Then he's showing us this light. This great big light, full spectrum light. He's saying, look at the bright light. Go into the light. And this is healthcare. You don't say go into the light.
Doesn't it always seem when you're short-staffed, that's the time you get a patient singing this? Take me out of my bed now. Take me out of my bed. I want to go sit down in a chair. You may be busy, but I just don't care. So it's scoot, scoot, scoot to the edge now, so I can sit down instead. Then count 1, 2, 3 seconds. Now I want back in bed. Think of that song the next time. It'll help you get through it.
You've heard the term best practices. I like to call these Jester Practices. It's being able to find what's funny in healthcare. Now, we're not saying that healthcare isn't serious. It is. It's very serious. But what we are saying is that your job in healthcare can be and should be fun. Serious does not cancel fun. So that's why hundreds of healthcare organizations have brought me in to share that message. You can see some of them zipping by at the bottom of the screen. And it doesn't matter how big or small your event is. I've spoken for 7 physicians at a medical staff meeting, for 70 practice managers at a conference, for 700 hospital employees at a years of service banquet, and for 7,000 nurses at a convention. It doesn't matter. My program is completely customized and relevant for your group and your event. So if you're having a medical event, no wait, bad choice of words. If you're having a gathering of healthcare professionals, maybe one that's got a heavy agenda and could definitely use some comic relief, or maybe one that's already a celebration, whether it's just for fun or for continuing education credits, you can give your attendees a memorable experience by adding a dose of healthcare humor to your agenda. And I close every program with a story about my very first keyboard. This is called a melodica. It's a story that comes with a powerful message and with a trip down memory lane that celebrates every generation in the workplace.
I'm David Glickman. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for having me here at NCI. You've been wonderful. Thank you very much.